Hey everybody, Uncle Rich here for Who's Telling the Truth. Guys, today is October 16th, 2017. This is show number 191, and the name of the show is Dementia. I know, it's going to be a rough topic, but you know, they say some people who have dementia lose their train of thought and they forget things easily. Hi everybody, Uncle Rich here for Who's Telling the Truth. Guys, I had to do it because my best friend in the world, Uncle Joey, thinks I have dementia. Guys, I'm not kidding. And I tell you, we're going to have fun with dementia today. But first, Judy, can you bring up, let's have the definition of dementia, please, because we just want to show everybody what we're going to experience. So still number one, Judy. All right, guys, so you see with dementia, it's a chronic or persistent disorder of the mental process caused by brain disease or injury and marked by memory disorders, personality changes, and impaired reasoning. Sound like somebody we know? But we're going to save all the fun parts for the second half of the show, because in the first half of the show, you know, guys, my buddy Uncle Joey, our good friend Uncle Joey, always claims that I need mental help because I accept facts and I accept reality. He thinks I'm nuts. If I believe in things that don't exist and don't accept global warming, then I'm okay. But guys, we're going to have some fun tonight. And yeah, Judy, bring the bugs up. And tonight we want to earn our credit for the name of our show, which is called Who's Telling the Truth. And guys, we're going to start the show off with Uncle Joey's Facebook page. And let's see if Judy could see if she can come up with that. But what we're going to do, we're going to show you a clip that Joey had pasted on his Facebook page. And Judy, can you bring up, there you go. Nice job, Judy. So guys, this is on Uncle Joey's Facebook page, and I'm going to read it to you. And once again, the name of his site is Things to Ponder. And this is what, you know, this is the headline, so this is what Uncle Joey has written. All right? These are the people that the libtards get their information from. No one is this dumb, barring the sheep that watch this shit. This is intentional. They know that their herd of tiny-minded, trained monkeys will believe this bullshit and spread it. And guys, if we look at the bottom, you'll see where it says MSNBC host doesn't know what she's talking about. All right, so that's the claim. Judy, come back to me. That's the claim. And that's what Uncle Joey went with and he put up on his Facebook page. So guys, what does Uncle Rich do? Judy, let's have the next still, please. He goes to the source. Oh, wait, Judy, I'm sorry. Go back to that last still again, please, because this is important. I want to get that in there. So go back, yeah. No, go back to the still before that, the one before this. All right. Now, this is important because this is where I'm getting my... What's that? There you go. Things to ponder. Right. Okay. So, guys, take a look and look above the video. Look above the picture. You'll see the source, the American News Hub. Okay? So I just want to point that out. Now look, that's where he got the source from. Judy, The next still, please. Not the next still now. The one, there you go, MSNBC. All right. So, guys, this is, you'll see up at the top, American News. So this is the source that Uncle Joey got it from. And Judy, let's go to the next still, please. Still number 4. Okay, now, guys, this is me and Joey, Uncle Joey, going back and forth. And because he claimed that she got it wrong. And I said, what did she get wrong? Be specific, please. And Joey wrote back, I rest my case. And I wrote back to Joey, you haven't made a case to rest. What did she get wrong? Joe, you can be going back and forth to me at this time. There you go. All right, so you can feel have a little leeway. So I said, you haven't made a case. What did she get wrong? And Joey wrote back, read my header, then watch the video, and you'll see that I did make my case and now rest it. Very cute, Joey, very cute. And I answered back, I did, meaning I did. I watched the video and you got everything ass backwards. And I love that expression, and we're going to show somebody who used that term ass backwards in a minute, somebody that was a man and could fess up. But I said to him, you get everything ass backwards as usual, watch it again. And then I responded to him, I love kicking your ass. Where is Wallace getting her ideas from? And Things to Ponder, Uncle Joey responded, I find your stupidity most numbing. Do you sometimes forget to breathe? Ah, Joey, come on, you're so cute. You make this shit too easy. And I said to Joey, why do I have to ask you everything at least twice? What did Wallace get her idea? Where did Wallace get her ideas from? Watch the video. So, Judy, what we're going to do next is we're going to play the video. And, guys, I want you, we're going to play video number 6. And, guys, I want you to pay close attention, and I want you to see if you can figure out how Uncle Joey got tricked. All right? See if you can pick it up. I'll tell you, the way they did it's cute. But see if you could see how Uncle Joey got tricked. So, Judy, let's have clip number 6, please.
That a conservative wrote a piece last week that got a lot of attention about maybe opening up the conversation about the Second Amendment. His name's Brett Stevens, and he said the intellectually honest way to have this debate is to say that this isn't what was intended, that we are an armed population. This was a right to bear arms against foreign militias.
Yeah, look, there's no doubt that I think that the Second Amendment decision ought to be looked at, but we also look at the decision itself. The NRA tries to characterize it as an absolute right, but Rehnquist went out of his way in writing that decision that says that it's actually the Second Amendment is subject to reasonable regulation.
Guys, did you catch it? Did you see what happened? Uncle Joey is making the assumption that Nicole Wallace, that those words are coming out of her mouth. And they weren't. She was quoting somebody. But most importantly, she was quoting a conservative, Brett Stevens. So here you are, and that's why I use the term ass backwards. Because they get it ass backwards. So, Judy, let's use our Beetlejuice scenario. And guys, listen to the very beginning. And this is how Uncle Judy got tricked. So, Judy, clip number 7.
A conservative wrote a piece last week that got a lot of attention about maybe that a conservative wrote a piece last week that got a lot of attention about maybe that a conservative wrote a piece last week that got a lot of attention about maybe opening up the conversation about the Second Amendment. His name's Brett Stevens, and he said the intellectually honest way to have this debate
that's enough.
is to
I
say
can
that
rest my case. So she was quoting a conservative, and Uncle Joey puts it down that a liberal is making the statement. Uncle Joey, hey, if you feel like a fool, I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. Because you know what, Joe? These guys spend millions of dollars to trick you. I mean, they take advantage of you simple folk, and this is what brings me to the table. I ain't gonna let nobody take advantage of you, Joey. Nobody. Nobody. And I'll tell you, the next clip is from a guy just like myself that does a show here at Channel 23. His name is Chris Ponte. He does a show, a live show, at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. And guys, I try to make it a point to call in because I figure, we're in the same type of thing. And he's trying to teach people, and I'm trying to teach people. We're trying to learn together. So I'm going to play a clip now of me calling in, and you're going to find out where I came up with the word ass backwards. So Judy, let's have clip number 8, please.
You're on the Ponte Show. Hello.
Chris, I just want to compliment you and your director, and especially the fact that you manned up, you admitted when you were wrong, you looked into the camera, you admitted it, and I tell you, I know that you're not a Republican, because a Republican would never retract anything. So I just want to thank you, and I want to thank your director for looking it up and for actually going to bat and for doing the public a service. Because when we teach each other and we learn together, you're providing a valuable service, and I want to thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you.
Judy, you cut that off a little bit early, because right after, at the very end, he said that he was sorry that he got everything ass backwards. But, but at least he was man enough to man up, something that Uncle Joey will never do, never. And the reason why is he's afraid that if he contradicts anything Republican, they'll kick him out of the party. Uncle Joey's my party, right or wrong, my party, right, Joey? And guys, and what happens? And the next clip that we're going to play, the next still that we're going to show you is, once again, this is something from Uncle Joey's Facebook page. So, Judy, let's have still number, still number 20, I believe. All right, can you bring that up? No, you got to go back. Nope, number 20.
Doesn't have it, Rich.
You're kidding me, right?
Could be number 30.
No, it's number 20. No, you got to be kidding me.
Oops.
Yeah, see, this is why we come in early, so that we can practice this stuff and get it right. And how do we keep making mistakes? Guys, this is really going to be a learning moment for everybody. And here I want it to be a learning moment for Uncle Joey, and I get caught looking like a schlemiel. I can't believe it. So, Judy, do you have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25? You don't have any of those.
All gone.
All gone. All right. Okay. All right. Well, what we're going to do is we have to promise ourselves never to let this happen again. I mean, it just can't happen again. All right, we're going to forget about it. We're going to try to forge ahead. The next clip is clip number 26. And this is going to be Bernie and his response. And, all right, Judy, play clip number 26.
Mr. Mnuchin, as you know, the estate tax applies only to the top 0.2%. 99.8% of Americans will not gain a nickel if the estate tax were repealed. Do you think most Americans who are struggling think it's a great idea to cut programs that impact working families and give unbelievable tax breaks to the wealthiest families in America?
This is about eliminating the estate tax so that Americans who have built businesses and created jobs and want to pass those companies on and continue their farms and continue their industry don't have to sell those businesses to pay the death tax.
No, actually, last study I saw thought that maybe 50 ranches and farmers may be impacted. What this is really about, and we should be honest about it, is that people like the Koch brothers, second wealthiest family in America, have spent hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to get benefits like this. So do you really think when you talk about families like the Koch brothers and the Walton family, and by the way, the Trump family, who would get something like a $4 billion tax break, do you really think that it makes sense, again, to cut programs that people desperately need to stay alive and give massive tax breaks to the children of the wealthiest family in this country?
We've made very difficult decisions, and I understand some of those programs I agree with are quite worthy, but we've made very difficult decisions to fund the military, to protect Americans.
I apologize for interrupting you. We just don't have a lot of time, so please accept my apology here. You made difficult decisions to give tax breaks to multi-billionaires and to cut programs for working families. I don't think those are difficult decisions. I think those are immoral decisions.
Okay, so guys, what I really wanted to try to point out is that on Uncle Joey's Facebook page, little Stevie, one of his accomplices, made an outright outrageous statement about the estate tax, proving that he knew absolutely nothing about it. I mean, just an embarrassment. And I wanted to show the stills to prove my point. And we screwed up. But you know what? There'll be other times. But I just, the next clip we're going to play is what I consider to be the best explanation of the death tax, the estate tax, which little Stevie seems to think that everybody pays. And I told him, I said, Steve, you're wrong. Not everybody pays the estate tax. Only 0.02% of the population pays it. So it's just a joke. But you know what? We'll let David Kamen from the Tax and Budget Bureau from New York University, we'll let him explain it. He'll do a better job than I will. Clip number 27, Judy.
We are going to protect thousands of family businesses by ending the crushing, horrible, and unfair estate tax, sometimes known as the death tax.
The estate tax right now affects only the very richest Americans when they pass on their assets to their heirs. So the estate tax right now applies to 0.2% of estates each year, so 0.2%. It's only for estates that have over $11 million in net worth. That's really the largest possible estates. Right now it raises about $200 billion over a decade, and eliminating it will mean that $200 billion will no longer go into the government's coffers to help finance key investments and safety net programs, and instead is going to go to the heirs of the estates who will now get a larger estate. So to give one example, if, for instance, Donald Trump was really worth $10 billion, as he has said, and if, at the end his estate passes on, right now the estate tax would impose a tax rate of about 40%. So in theory, about $4 billion if the estate were actually worth $10 billion. Without an estate tax, that $4 billion would be able to go to his heirs rather than to potentially public investments and other things the government could use it for.
That's a tax that has destroyed so many businesses and kept those businesses out of your family, your children, your grandchildren. It's very sad. But we are working to end the estate tax, to end the death tax, as it's often called.
Whether you call it the fair opportunity tax, or you could call it the silver spoon tax, it is a tax that is rooted in the idea that we do not simply want large amounts of wealth passed from generation to generation without some significant share of that wealth going back to the country that helped create that wealth and providing opportunities to others.
So shouldn't the money be coming back to the country that helped create the wealth? But no. Trump wants to give it to his family. I mean, you can't blame him, but you know what? Let's be real about the whole thing. And the next clip, now we're going to start to get into the dementia part of the show. And guys, there's always a reason that triggers people to do certain things. And Judy, can we have still number 30, please? And let's see, what do you think motivated Trump? Do you think Trump is motivated by his personal hatred of Barack Obama and not for his love of America? Guys, you think that's possible? Because I tell you, a narcissist, once you start beating on him. So Judy, come back to me. And guys, the next clip, I'm going to give you an idea of why I think that Trump hates Obama. Because Obama humiliated Trump at the press conference dinner. And I mean, he made him look like a buffoon. So I have the idea that this was the trigger that said to Trump, "You're going to embarrass me in front of the world? The hell with it. I'll run for president and I'll embarrass myself in front of the whole world." But Judy, let's have clip number 31, please.
There's a vicious rumor floating around that I think could really hurt Mitt Romney. I heard he passed universal health care when he was governor of Massachusetts. Someone should get to the bottom of that. And I know just the guy to do it, Donald Trump.
Yay! Yay, Donnie!
Now, I know that he's taken some flack lately, but no one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac? All kidding aside, obviously we all know about your credentials and breadth of experience. For example, no, seriously, just recently in an episode of Celebrity Apprentice at the steakhouse, the men's cooking team did not impress the judges from Omaha Steaks. And there was a lot of blame to go around, but you, Mr. Trump, recognized that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey. And these are the kind of decisions that would keep me up at night. Well handled, sir. Well handled. Say what you will about Mr. Trump. He certainly would bring some change to the White House. Let's see what we've got up there.
Notice the chandelier. Where's the escalator? Guys, you have to admit it. Trump brings a lot of fun. But I think that's what got him going. And I tell you, when we're talking about dementia and where your brain doesn't function properly, you know? And guys, sometimes some of the stuff that Trump does, I mean, we're going to play a clip, and this clip says that there's 9 times that Trump has displayed that he has a dementia or ability to seem like almost, no, I better not say possessed, that wouldn't be right. But guys, just watch, he walks right by his limousine, he forgets to sign things. He just it's unbelievable. And Judy, after this clip, if you could bring back the very first still again on dementia so we can look at the definition one more time. But guys, Judy, in the meantime, let's look at video number 32. And guys, just look, and you be the judge. You tell me if you think Trump is okay in the head. Judy, 32. Now, how do you miss your limousine? Is this remotely possible? Could he think that there was another limousine waiting for him? Did he think he was going to be in the lead limousine? There's only one, Donnie. And everyone's looking at him, where's he going? Oh, okay. Oh, that's my limousine? How embarrassing. Uncle Joey, you want to get this guy to nuclear codes? He can't find his limousine. Give me a break, will you? What else has he done? Oh, he forgot to turn. The whole world is watching and he forgets to turn around. Mr. President, there you go. Smile, that's it. Pretend you know what you're doing. Good boy, good. Okay, get ready. Gee, okay, turn around again. There you go. Netanyahu says, where's he going? Donnie, get back. Donnie, Dad, And here we go with an executive order. He signs this in the Oval Office, and he forgets. Adios, Mr. Trump, Mr. President. Donnie, you forgot. Come back here. Never mind, we'll get it for you. I'll get it. I'll wipe your butt for you. Let me get. Okay, here I come. All right. Yeah. And Joey talks about sheep. Well, these guys, look at it. One follows the other. Okay, Mr. President. Guys, it's almost embarrassing, isn't it? Well, wait a minute. He did it again just recently. And guys, while we're on a roll, let's not leave the table. So, Judy, clip number 33,
As President
please.
Trump is signing an executive order to gut the Affordable Care Act, he forgot to sign it. Of course! By the way, this is the second time he's done this. So this is nothing but fun. Watch the video.
Once and for all, we will have great health care in our country. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Mr. President. Most important thing. I'm only signing it because it costs nothing.
Same thing at the airplane, the same motion.
The president's an idiot. It's so funny. So he's like, oh, well, I already did the thing for the cameras. That's the only thing that matters. How's my ratings? And they're like, no, you actually have to go and do it. You have to actually sign it. Pence is like, oh, yes, Mr. President, good job. You found it. Yes, now you sign it, child. This is the second time Pence has had to pull him in after he's about to leave to sign an executive order. Look, it is maybe the least offensive thing he does, and I wish he'd forgotten it completely so he didn't destroy our insurance system. But it does give you a sense of what his priorities are, which is nothing but the spotlight. Support independent media. Come join us at the Young Turk.
So all he cares about himself, you know, just take my picture. You know, he's a narcissist, and it's just unbelievable. And the next clip we're going to play is, you know, we can talk about it as much as we want, but when it comes to trying to prove anything, I always go to the experts. Right, Uncle Joey? Oh, we were having an argument about peer-reviewed science and dealing with experts, and Joey can't understand it. He doesn't know what having something published after it's been peer-reviewed, it just goes past him. He thinks if something gets published in the local newspaper, it's a published scientific theory. He doesn't know. But guys, we're going to listen to the experts now, and they're going to cite some of Trump's conditions and what it relates to. And guys, these are the experts, so these aren't the Uncle Riches. These are guys with degrees, and they paid their dues, and they know what they're talking about. So, Judy, let's have, I forgot where we are. Oh, clip number 34, please. 16 prominent health professionals.
Founder of Duty to Warn. We're a grassroots organization of mental health professionals who find Donald Trump to be deeply and dangerously psychologically disordered.
I'm utterly convinced as a psychiatrist that Donald Trump is psychologically unfit to be president.
We feel an ethical obligation to warn the public, to advocate that he be removed under the 25th Amendment.
Someone with a narcissistic personality disorder is extremely fragile. They are holding together their sense of self through inflating their self-worth.
I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created.
Through bragging.
Much bigger, much stronger, much richer.
Through getting people around them to admire them at all times.
Greatest privilege of my life is to serve as vice president.
I can't thank you enough for the privilege that you've given me and the leadership that you've shown.
Mr. President, we thank you for the opportunity and the blessing that you've given us to serve your agenda.
In narcissistic personality disorder specifically, the wound is worthlessness, okay? And then the facade that's created to protect it is I am the best.
I went to better schools than they did. I was a better student than they were. I live in a bigger, more beautiful apartment.
I am the most capable.
I alone can fix it.
I am the richest.
I have much more money than all of them put together times 20, okay?
I am the most whatever.
Is he
makes up reality.
Alternative facts.
He makes up alternate facts.
Alternative facts.
And he denies actual facts.
So on a good day, he's just a normal liar.
It looked like a million and a half people.
And on a bad day, he's delusional. Telling them that you lost the popular vote because of millions of illegal votes, 3 to 5 million illegal votes.
A delusion is a fixed false belief that someone possesses and in an absence of objective evidence, and that they cannot be persuaded to the contrary.
And I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as that building was coming down.
There's something on that birth certificate that he doesn't like.
Oh my God.
And we have seen with Donald Trump multiple times that he is paranoid and delusional. One example of this would be his Twitter allegation that President Obama was wiretapping him at the Trump Towers.
We're talking about surveillance. It was wiretapped in quotes.
During the primary season, he would say things like,
I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me.
Or
nobody loves the Bible more than I do.
All those things. I thought he's a showman. I've come to realize that's not true. He believes all those things. These are delusions.
The fact that he is actually specifically has encouraged his followers to beat up people who are protesting at his political rallies.
If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of him. Would you like to punch him in the face? I'll tell you.
I mean, if that's not incitement to violence, then nothing is an incitement to violence. And if incitements to violence are not what is meant by the term dangerousness, then I don't know what is.
The other danger is because of his paranoia. that other countries and their leaders will disagree with him. And that happens all the time in world politics. But if it's Donald Trump, then he takes it personally. It's an assault on him which he cannot stand. So they become enemies, and he attacks.
They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
We call this narcissistic rage.
This man has the nuclear codes. In under 5 minutes, they're in the air.
You know, what I see is a man who appears unstable, at least in public, who isn't thinking clearly, who isn't speaking honestly.
I think we have not seen the most extreme form of Trumpism. That's the danger.
It is clear that he is reckless, impulsive, self-absorbed, and that these characteristics pose a real danger to society and to the world, really.
Guys, what do you say? I mean, really, what do you say? I mean, he's scary. He really is scary. And every time he says something, I watch in disbelief. I mean, he was talking some stuff today. I couldn't even get into it. I was busy doing the show. But, you know, I heard some stuff in the background. I said, uh-oh, here we go again. So I'll find that out when I get home. But, you know, a lot of people get, you know, there's a little confusion and uncertainty as to the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's. And there's different mental diseases, you know. So, you know, Trump doesn't necessarily have Alzheimer's. He has a form of dementia. But, you know, like we try to do on this show, it's a learning experience. And I'm sure Uncle Joey wants me to watch this because he thinks I'm sick in the head. But guys, here's the difference between dementia, Alzheimer's, and a bunch of other things that we don't even know are going on. So Judy, let's have clip number 35, please.
What's the difference between Alzheimer's disease and dementia? Perhaps you've been confused by these terms in the past, or mistakenly thought they were the same thing. Well, you wouldn't be alone, because knowing the difference between Alzheimer's disease and dementia can be tricky. But it's actually not too hard to understand. In a nutshell, it's like the difference between shortness of breath and asthma. Shortness of breath is not a specific disease. It can have many different causes, and asthma is just one of them. Likewise, dementia is not one specific disease. It's a combination of symptoms that has many different causes, including Alzheimer's disease. Still sound a bit confusing?
Uh-huh.
Okay, think of it like this. You go to your doctor with shortness of breath. To find the cause, she listens to your chest to see if it's due to asthma or pneumonia. And then she checks your heart to see if your breathlessness is caused by heart failure or a very rapid heartbeat. She even asks if you've been worried in case your breathing difficulty is anxiety related. After her examinations, she concludes that your shortness of breath is actually a nut allergy. Similarly, when dealing with dementia, your doctor needs to figure out the underlying cause. And while Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia, it's not the only one. Dementia can also be caused by vascular changes in the brain, Parkinson's disease, Lewy body disease, vitamin deficiencies, thyroid gland problems, chronic brain infections, or medications. Even a very deep depression can sometimes look like dementia. Which means if someone you love has dementia, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have Alzheimer's disease. And that's very important for your doctor to establish. Because some causes of dementia, such as infection, medication reactions, an underactive thyroid gland, or vitamin deficiencies, can be reversible with the right treatment. So figuring out the cause and a plan of action could improve your quality of life. And that's why, if you or your loved one have the symptoms of dementia, you need to see your doctor to find out the underlying cause.
So guys, I was from Trinity University, and you can see, dementia has many different forms of the disease. I mean, it could be a lot of different things. And, to have, the way they worded it, Alzheimer's could just be part of it. You know what I mean? But there could be many things. And who knows? I mean, with Trump, and we don't know what his diet is. We don't know about his doctor. His doctor was a joke. Everything about Trump is a joke. How do you know anything about the guy? And that's what makes him such a hypocrite. But, maybe we should call Trump the hypocrite in chief. And the next clip, I tell you, she comes right out and does it. So, Judy, let's have clip number 36, please.
I'm Aaron Burnett. Out front tonight, hypocrite in chief. President Trump today doing something he harshly criticized President Obama for doing. Trump signing his 50th executive order today. The move allows insurance to sell bare-bones health care plans that don't meet the Obamacare requirements. And it is the most damaging blow so far to Obamacare. The president clearly pleased with the move today.
We're all gathered together for something I believe that's going to be very, very powerful for our nation and very good for a lot of people.
This is the same Donald Trump, though, who said this repeatedly about Barack Obama's use of executive orders.
You have a president that signs executive orders because he can't get anything done.
Right now, Obama goes around signing executive orders. He can't even get along with the Democrats. And he goes around signing all these executive orders. It's a basic disaster.
Nobody ever heard of an executive order. Then all of a sudden, Obama, because he couldn't get anybody to agree with him, he starts signing them like they're butter. So I want to do away with executive orders for the most part.
For the most part. Look, the facts are the president is not keeping his word. He signed 50 executive orders since the day he took office, which, if you do the math, is about one every 5 days. It is double the number the man he called a disaster signed. President Obama signed 26 executive orders by the 12th of October in his first year in office.
So Trump he signs twice as many executive orders as Obama. It doesn't matter. And then you get people like Joey. He doesn't care. Hey, you know what Uncle Joey's answer would be? Hey, at least Hillary ain't in the office. No, we got a hypocrite, a con man in the office. And you don't care. You'll stick with him and go to bat with him. Why? Because he doesn't have a D after his name, right, Uncle Joe? And, Trump, he'll undermine, and he's trying to sabotage the ACA. I mean, he's going out of his way to try to destroy it. But you know what, guys? The next clip will just show you. It'll just point him out, and you'll see what a fraud and a phony and a con man, and how the only thing he wants to do is protect his billionaire buddies at the expense of the middle class. So, Judy, let's have clip 37, please.
This morning, millions of lower-income Americans need to know how they will afford their health care coverage after the president's dramatic overnight move against Obamacare. Effective immediately, the government will stop giving insurance companies money to help many enrollees pay for their coverage.
It's about $7 billion worth of subsidies this year, and this is what the president's written this morning. The Democrats' Obamacare is imploding. Massive subsidy payments to their pet insurance companies has stopped. Dem should call me to fix. Obamacare is a broken mess. Piece by piece, we will now begin the process of giving America the greatest health care it deserves. Our chief business correspondent, Christine Romans, is here with the facts.
And he calls it, a bailout for insurance companies, but that bailout for insurance companies goes to low-income Americans to help them pay for health care, and ending those key subsidies will speed up Obamacare's implosion, costing millions of Americans their health coverage. Who am I talking about? We're talking about nearly 6 million low-income Americans. These are individuals who earn less than $30,000 a year. These are families earning less than $61 grand. Insurers rely on these cost-sharing subsidies to help pay for their lower deductibles. It doesn't affect their premiums, but it makes a huge difference for these enrollees. For example, take a traditional silver plan. There it is. For those just above the poverty line, the subsidy lowers the average deductible to $255 a year. Without it, It's $3,600. That's why these Americans could see huge increases next year. Now, the president has already threatened to stop paying these payments for months. That's caused many insurers already to hike for next year. Most of them, by 43% of those carriers, by 20%. Some major players have dropped out already, but insurers that didn't price in the loss of these subsidies, they have a couple things they can do. They can sue, or they can raise rates, and that's a brand new problem for Obamacare with just 3 weeks to open enrollment.
You know, one of the words the Democrats are using is sabotage. What the president's trying to do is sabotage Obamacare. That's a loaded term, but we do have evidence that the administration is trying to undermine the success of Obamacare.
He said, look, I let it implode. But essentially the White House is helping it implode by pulling back these subsidies, by shortening the open enrollment period, by, they say that it's, for tech support reasons, but by taking that website offline for 12 hours every Sunday. But you look one after another, and it's as if the White House wants this to be hobbled and wants Democrats to come and try to fix. This isn't fixing Obamacare. This is sabotaging Obamacare is what the Democrats say, but it is hastening its implosion, yes.
Christine Roman, it's great to have you with us.
So guys, as you can see, Trump, tweeted, Obamacare is a broken mess. So rather than try to fix it, what does he do? He wants to break it more. And this is the logic of the president. This is what the president of all of us, the guy that is supposed to be responsible to take care of us, this is what he wants to do? And you think he's not a sick man? I mean, this is crazy. So who should we go to? Who should we ask if we want to find out if Trump is undermining or sabotaging the healthcare industry? Why don't we ask a healthcare CEO? Wouldn't that make sense? So guys, once again, let's go to the source and let's listen to some facts. And this is from the CEO from Molina, and they're going to talk about cost-sharing reductions. And I tell you, he's going to give Trump the old bada bing. So Judy, let's have clip number 38, please.
President Trump wants you to believe that Obamacare is failing. I'm a physician, and I was the CEO of one of the largest health insurance companies in America. And I can tell you that it's not. It's being sabotaged. The president, who is threatening to cut off subsidy payments for low-income patients to cover their copays and deductibles, he characterizes it as a bailout. Well, when the president's talking about bailouts, he's talking about cost-sharing reductions. And these are payments that insurance companies make to help low-income people pay their copays and deductibles. It's all part of the law. They don't profit by it, and it's not a bailout. If the president cuts off these CSR payments, the people who are going to be hurt the most are the middle class. They will see dramatic increases in their premiums. Right now, Senator Murray and Senator Alexander are working on a bipartisan bill to solve some of these problems. Donald Trump is telling people that the Affordable Care Act is imploding. If people believe him and this bill fails, it means that millions of people will lose their insurance coverage. And in return, what the Republicans want to do is give big tax breaks to their donors. This is not fair, and it's not right, and it's not true. People's voices matter. Town hall meetings and phone calls to senators had a big impact, and it stopped the bill from being repealed. What you can do is call your senator and say, I support bipartisan efforts to improve the Affordable Care Act.
Guys, pick up the phone. And I'm sorry we don't have the phone number for you. But, on some of our earlier shows, we put the phone numbers up, where you can call. And I tell you, I called one day and it was great. A lot of fun. But, the one thing that Trump isn't explaining to everybody with this new plan that he's coming up with, a lot of people that have pre-existing conditions are going to get shafted. I mean, these people are going to get raked over the coal, and these are the people that are really going to get hurt with Trump's plan. So, Judy, let's have clip 39, please.
So congratulations to everybody.
President Trump signed an executive order on health care. He said the bill would allow companies to purchase insurance across state lines. It would also allow people to buy plans that are short-term and have no coverage for pre-existing conditions. Guys, can you imagine that? Can you imagine somebody buying an insurance policy and then their kid gets sick and they bring their kid to the hospital and the hospital says, well, we'll treat your kid because we have to, but we'll only treat him now, today, on an emergency basis. And could you imagine if you needed long-term care or some kind of, heavy care for your kid? What would you do? Would you thank Trump? Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you. Thank you for screwing me so you can give tax breaks to your billionaire friends. And where's he going to get the money from? The middle class and the poor. And it won't be until people like Uncle Joey start to realize how they're getting screwed. And I'll tell you, the next show, we're going to put up the clips that we didn't put up tonight, because I tell you, when you see what Uncle Joey did and how him and Stevie got tricked, you're going to go, it would really be a learning experience for the whole world to see how the misconceptions that people have, and they pass them on to each other. But guys, the next clip, and let's see, the next clip is going to be, I always love giving Fox News to business. And Hannity got caught getting himself a black guy to come out, a token black guy, who also happens to be a good friend of Alex Jones. So guys, let's watch Sean Hannity shoot himself in the foot with clip number 40. Judy?
How's the president doing?
I think he's doing an absolutely phenomenal job.
Yeah? What do you think of Congress?
Previously.
Kevin Martin coming to you from InfoWars.
Kevin Martin. Probably haven't heard his name, but I think he will be. Kevin Martin, good to meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you. I really like what you're doing here at InfoWars, and it's been a real inspiration. I really appreciate you having me.
Don't thank me.
Bill Clinton and President Obama did the same thing when they were in office. So what about that? Was that unconstitutional too?
You can see Kevin Martin, one of our auxiliary reporters, full report at Infowars.com. Kevin Martin was just a great young man.
Owen Schroeder and InfoWars contributor Kevin Martin in studio with me right now.
So you're going to be back later in the third hour with Milo, co-hosting with us and popping in. What do you want to tackle first, and what are you going to cover when you join Milo and myself?
75% of African-American households don't have a father. They have a daddy, but there's no father. And 95% of those father figures are in the system, the criminal justice system.
Where is this guy getting his 95% of the
you sound
blacks
perfect. You know what I like you to do here? I'll just start talking about operation here. I can be a reporter, but also I can be a part of the sales team, marketing, everything. I can tell, it's awesome. And so I'm very excited, Kevin. I'm going to ask Rob Dew, if you've got time, our news director, to call you in the next 10 minutes. Let's not screw around. Let's get you on an airplane here right now so that we can direct it first class. It's a symbol of my respect for the work he's doing and my belief that we're going to move to the next level. Thank you so much, and God bless you, my friend.
God bless you. Thank you for having me.
But I've got to just add here, we don't fly around first class most of the time. The crew has to sit and coach and crappy everything. We don't have enough money. What I'm saying is I just want to honor this is an important person.
How do you feel about the news media?
I think a lot of the news media is fake, except Hannity. You know, we love Hannity. That's
a promo. I want this promo.
There he is. Remember we did the clip with the black guy that always sits behind, mysteriously he sits behind Trump? There's your next token black guy. There he is. And speaking of token people and speaking of Hannity, and a while back we did a clip on Tommy. Her name is, she pronounces it Tommy, but her name is Tommy. And we're going to end the show with one of the guys from Comedy Central ripping her a new one, and he does such a beautiful job. And Judy, if you can come back to me with maybe 10 seconds so I can just say goodbye. But let's have a lot of fun with the clip, then we can roll the credits, and then come back to me with 10 seconds. Sound fair? Hit it.
It's time for final thoughts, and I have a question for the self-righteous Hollywood liberals. Why so silent on your boy Harvey Weinstein?
Oh, Tommy. What a strange moment we've arrived at once again, where I, a person who looks like a hipster frat boy hybrid, is sticking up for women, while you, the prom queen from hell, push the intolerant patriarchal messaging of Fox News for Republican brownie points. No one's silent on Weinstein.
Could it be because Harvey Weinstein is one of your own?
No, people aren't silent at all about this, actually. Almost everyone has come out in support of the victims and rightfully lambasted Weinstein for his actions.
Could it be the wealth, power, and longtime support for the Democratic Party that has your tongue?
No, no one really cares about his party affiliation. Everyone's actually loudly criticizing him. I don't know if you know this, but most progressives aren't as eager to brush over sexual assault as Republicans have been for so long. This could have been a teachable moment for you to address the systemic problems that persist in every industry that revolves around power and sexual assault, but no, you used it to attack the Democratic Party. Every Democratic candidate is denouncing him and giving back his donations, so I don't know what more you want them to do. What, beat the shit out of the guy? I mean, look, I'll tell you this. At least we won't be electing him president anytime soon.
When the Trump Access Hollywood tape came out, late-night hosts and Hollywood liberals clutched their pearls like the world was ending. It was literally all they talked about.
It's a big fucking deal that a serial sexual abuser openly talked about sexual assault and ran for president, and then he became our president. But I guess it's not that big of a deal for you, given the fact that you knowingly ran over to the welcoming embrace of Fox News, a news outlet famous for spewing Republican propaganda and covering up rampant sexual abuse perpetrated by their executives and top talent.
Over the last 25 years, he's given about $800,000 to your candidates and causes, so I'm not surprised.
How disingenuous to mention Harvey's donations from the pulpit you stand in, especially when your employer that moved you out to elitist liberal safe space Los Angeles has spent $45 million settling and covering up Roger Ailes' sexual abuse. They've spent $13 million covering up Bill O'Reilly's. Spare me your righteous indignation as you eagerly ran over to work for what is literally known as a sexual assault factory. Speaking of which, Tommy, if you do ever experience any sort of sexual abuse at Fox News, and it's likely, you know where to reach me. I'm being serious about this. But go on, Tommy.
These Hollywood and entertainment types like to think they're so brave, so morally superior. No, you're not brave.
You know what's brave?
Man,
being able to finally come out and share your story.
Speed, Judy? Holy mackerel, they go by so fast. But guys, the reason why I wanted to play the Tommy clip is she's the new Foxstitute at Fox News. Yep, she got fired from Glenn Beck. I guess they weren't making enough money. And now she's actually working for Fox News, and she was introduced by Hannity. So I'm sure she's going to be one of the newest Foxstitutes to spread their henhouse crap that they always do. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened there. Is that the thunder of the gods? Oh, boy. How much time we got, Judy? 30 seconds? Say goodnight. All right, guys, so next week we're going to make it up to you with the Uncle Judy clips, and we're going to blame it, the Uncle Joey clips, and we're going to blame it on Judy. Remember, when anything goes wrong, blame it on Judy. Right, Judy? It's all Judy's